Hello there and welcome to episode 12 of my playthrough of the 2018 Harebrained Schemes BattleTech game. Today I'm going to be tackling Priority Mission 8 on Itrom. So let's go ahead here and launch contract, see if we have a mission briefing today. Which we don't, so right into the mech bay. So I'm just going to clear everything here so I can discuss what I'm going to take today. You can see first that we're in Martian bio, which means we'll be running very hot. This mission is probably the worst mission, or the worst priority mission. Sorry to anticlimax this like right away, but it really isn't a great mission. It's really easy as well. All the secondaries are really easy. The priority is ridiculously easy, but hey ho, you're going to have to at least have one kind of terrible priority mission episode, I suppose. And this will be the one. The trick is in this mission, if you want to do it correctly, is to bring mechs that have some range. So that's what I'm going to do today. So first up we will bring the Highlander, and that will be piloted by Oculus. Next up, I think we will bring the Archer, the 2S. This kind of LRM and SRM spam on here, taking full advantage of that Macillary suite to get like maximum damage and stability damage. And I think we will let's put Bear in there today. He needs to get his final skill. So I'm going to try and give more exposure to the mech warriors that only have 2 skills out of the 3, I think, for the foreseeable future. Next up, I'm going to bring the Jägermech. The Jägermech's got decent range, 2 UAC5s and 2 impulses. So this is Big Kaiser. I don't think I've shown him before on a recording, but a very, very effective mech with those double UAC5 double plus cannons. And let's put Metal in you today, and then finally we'll bring the Catapult for some more long-range action. So equivalent of 40 LRMs on the Catapult, lots of ammo, jump capable as well, so it can get around the battlefield. And we'll bring Boudica in Mina today. This is actually the 3rd recording that I've done over the last like 6 hours, so you have to forgive me if I'm a little bit like slow on the uptake. It's surprisingly tiring recording games, I've found. But this will be the last one today for sure, because it's quite late in the evening now. And I really kind of I wanted to do this one before I start recording again over the next few days, because I really don't like this mission. So I've just kind of determined to get it out of the way. So let's go ahead and deploy. It's not even one of those missions that's like got any decent like lore or anything to it, any interesting mechs thrown at you. It's just such a meh of a mission. If I remember it rightly, there are like 3 objectives and you only actually need to do one of them. But the secondary objectives are to get them all, and I am trying to go for all the secondary objectives in Ironman mode, so we're going to have to just grind through and get this done. Relatively simple mission format as well. There's one interesting point of it, like when you see one of the like objectives to blow up, the mechs and the vehicles in these places will start to run away, and you've got like X amount of turns to blow them up before they blow the resources that you're trying to capture up. That's it, really. I'm sure Lady Arano will tell us now what the sit rep is. So welcome to the Badlands Itrom Commander. The sands of this desert are rich in exotic elements that play havoc with electronic sensors and communications. Without the use of House Galaxy's signal boosting equipment, you wouldn't even be receiving this message. The Badlands are a goldmine of rare earth metals and fissile materials. The Directorate has seized control of House Galaxy's largest processor and refinery, and they're getting ready to move a year's supply of exotic materials off-world. I need you to capture at least one of these silos for the restoration. Choose your target, engage its defenders, and destroy them. Our recovery team will take care of the rest. You'll need to act quickly, though the Directorate will wire the silos to self-destruct if you give them the chance. The same radiation that's gathered in the directorate's long-range comms will render their sensors useless. You can detect them, but they won't even know you're there until you enter their direct line of sight, and the silos won't be able to communicate with one another. Because of this, I'd advise you to engage the silos one at a time, choose a target and clear it of defenders before moving on to the next. If you are careful, you'll be able to hit all 3 silos one after the other, and the directorate's troops will be none the wiser.
Well, capturing one working silo is your primary objective. We can always use more. The Restoration will pay an additional bounty for each silo you capture beyond the first. Good hunting, Commander.
So I think Kamea summed that up very, very nicely for us. You see there are 3 targets here. There's Alpha, Bravo and Charlie. And I'm just going to march to each silo, basically take out the defenders, and then march on to the next. And ergo why this mission is pretty dull. So we're following some kind of pipeline up here. And what we've got to be careful of, we don't want to kind of expose ourselves to their direct line of sight too early. If we do that, then they run away, and we only get like a couple of, I think it's like 4 or 5 turns to destroy them. So just be slightly careful with your placement early on. So like at the moment they're not moving because they don't know we're here, because they're having interference with their sensors. And the second that, if I sprinted down here now with Bear, then they'd see him, whereas if I stood back here they wouldn't. So what I will do is just go nice and slowly up this hill and get them in a pincer movement, I think. So you can always tell the visual if there is a line, whether it's a dotted white line or a coloured line between you and another mech. If it's a dotted line, it means that they can see you but you can't attack because you've maybe sprinted. That's usually the reason why. And you can only do, like if you sprint, you can't fire your weapons then in that turn. So, on the next turn we'll be ready to kind of launch our attack. So we've got a 55-ton mech, a 25-ton mech, a 45-ton mech, and a 60-ton vehicle. So, let's now spring our attack. We'll keep in the cheeky wee, like whirlwind here to give us some defensive bonus. Excuse me. So Silo Alpha has detected your presence. Act quickly, Commander. If you give them enough time, they'll set the silo to self-destruct. Ooh, we've got an SRM carrier. So we're certainly going to target that in the first instance, because SRM carriers are awful. The most like destructive vehicles in the game by a mile, if not one of the most destructive units. But they're very, very flaky. Like they're not very difficult at all to explode. The tactic with this mission is to really target the light mechs first, because the light mechs are the ones that will generate the speed to kind of get the evasion pips to stop you from destroying them, because they'll be more difficult to hit, and then if they run away you actually lose the silo. So really do advise that you hit up any light mechs first. Hopefully take a leg out. That's always a good one, because then they can't run. We've hit him so hard that he can't actually run on the next turn, because he's gone over his 3-point stability threshold there. And I think we'll just use Big Kaiser to finish this little chap off. Drop the impulses, I think, just to conserve the heat. So there's a Blackjack and a Shadowhawk here. Oh, Griffin, sorry. So these should be really quite simple to take out. Let's go up on high. I think we'll target that Griffin and hopefully wreck its right arm where the PPC is. And no, he's done well there, but he is hunkered down, so he's getting good defensive bonus there. Oh, and he doesn't have a PPC, he has an L laser. I'm really, like, in a sense, disappointed with how they do PPCs in this game. I personally think they run too hot. I'll give you a very good example. Like on the Marauder, you'd kind of think like, oh well, if I get the like the heat management, you know, equipment, then I'd be able to run a Marauder in the traditional sense. which is the 2 PPCs, 2 M lasers, and an AC5. But I've never been able to get it to work in this game, ever. I always have to kind of drop out the PPCs for something else, which you've seen if you've watched me run the Marauder before. I usually opt for M pulses and extended range medium lasers, and then just drop the PPCs entirely. I was using a crazy variant of the Marauder previously with a UAC-20 in there as well, although that was doing an amazing job for me. I've now swapped that out and put it onto the Battle Master, but yeah, it's just all PPC, the straight PPC. I'm not talking about the snub PPC. That's different because it generates less heat and it's lighter. But I don't know. I just think that they've messed up a little bit in how they've like done the PPCs, which is a shame because they're such a nice weapon. To put this in comparison for you, like on tabletop, BattleTech, classic tabletop, a PPC will do 10 damage, which is good. I mean, that's very, very solid. To put that in comparison, like an AC-10 does 10 damage as well. So you know, big gun type of thing, and it generates 10 heat, which is quite hot. I mean, that is a hot weapon in tabletop BattleTech, but it just seems to work there. And I think in this, like, the damage and the heat ratios just don't really match up. They've given the PPC like some extra buffs, like it does the I can't remember what you call it now. It's like a when you hit a target, it basically disrupts their sensors, and then they get a decreased percentage chance to hit you the next time. So I suppose that's quite nice, but it still doesn't kind of mitigate for the fact that it's very, very difficult to run them properly. It's why you'll see that I often use the snub PPC variant. In fact, the only PPC that I've got at the moment, or the straight regular PPC, is on the Highlander.
I'm marking an evac zone on your map. Whenever you're ready, you may proceed there for extraction.
And why is it that I use the regular PPC on the Highlander? Because the Highlander has inbuilt double heat sinks into its engine, so it's one of the few mechs that can actually facilitate a PPC properly. I do think it's a mechanical issue with this game. I think it needs really a patch fix, because just little things like the Awesome, which lives up to its name as a mech, it's a fantastic mech. It's really difficult to use in like the straight variant of the vanilla variant of the Awesome, which is the 8Q, I want to say. Really, you can use it. I mean, you can just kind of spam it up with L lasers and M lasers, but you can't run it as it is, as God intended it, so to speak. Which is, again, I just find it a shame. I just wish that they'd put a facility in there so that PPCs could be like, you know, yes, they run hot, but they don't run so hot that you basically can't use them. Yeah. Anyway, I'll shut up and stop ranting about PPCs. Let's march all our lads and lasses over in this direction. You see we've got the second target coming up here. We just want to, again, keep out of visible field. So what have we got? We've got a 50-ton max. So we'll put Kaiser, just put him there, ready to sprint out on the next turn. Put Mina back there because she can jump on the next turn up on this little elevated area. Same for Oculus. Oh, we can actually... I can't see if Oculus can jump in and shoot on his next turn. He probably can't. Okay, let's just play this a little bit more conservatively. I'll just I'll keep everyone back until Oculus can actually get into position, because that Highlander is a big slow beast. Got to be careful about jumping in this mission as well. Like, if you jump above like the field of view and they see you, you will kind of, you know, generate the alarm, or, you know, whatever you want to say. So just be careful about jumping. I tend to sprint up until you really do have to jump. So this is Beta Silo, and we've got a Centurion here, who's going to take an optimum damage spam from missile spam from the Archer. So that's going to make his day much more unpleasant. Probably knock him over here with the 2 UAC-5s as well. Lovely stuff. Not knocked over, but certainly wavering. And Boudica, now she doesn't really have to worry about her heat because she's a catapult and she's an LRM platform, so she can afford to go into that radiation field. She'll be fine. And this will knock him over, I believe. There he goes. What else have we got? It looks like we've got is that a locust there? I think it's a locust. It is indeed. And we've got a trebuchet and... Is that it? I thought there were 4. Yeah, maybe just 3. Right, well let's jump in now with Oculus. We will actually keep away from the radiation field because we don't want him to generate too much heat. And we're just going to take out this locust, which we should do quite easily with the Highlander. No, we haven't. However, all that's important is that he's above the stability threshold there, because he can't run now. So he's just going to have to sit and take his a good thrashing from the lance, because he can only walk and he can't generate the evasion pips. He's got 4 there, but if it's a locust, they can usually get up to like, I don't know, 7 or 8 or something crazy if they go at full sprint. They're very, very quick. That's a trebuchet back there. And Mina, I think, can you finish off this little locust? You should be able to here. Very nice. Graphics have gone a bit crazy there. Enemy down. Centurion's getting on his feet, but he has lost his big gun. His AC-10 has been blown off. So it'll be an LRM spam for him. There we go. Won't do as much damage at all. Right, let's probably just finish off this Centurion. And he's still hanging in there. He's definitely doing well, this Centurion. He's taking a real beating, but I don't think he'll be able to take 2 UAC-5s. No, there he pops. Ah, there is something else there. Is that an LRM platform of some sort, I'd imagine? I think it's a vehicle. Yeah, it's a vehicle. It's an LRM carrier, is that? Unfortunately, I can't get into firing field of that LRM platform, so we'll have to focus on the trebuchet, or the trench bucket, as it is comically known in BattleTech. And he's going point blank with a, well, not quite point blank, but coming up very close with an LRM spam. It's given the archer something to think about with stability damage though. So we will actually, we'll have to mitigate for that. So we'll drop back. Can we go back here? Yeah, lovely. 80% hits there. I am tempted to kind of brace him up. Yeah, I think we will. That LRM platform close by might knock him over, and that won't be fun. And we've critted the LRM 15. Do you know, I still really don't understand how crits work in this game. I got in a random mission that I was doing today, I got my Gauss rifle critted on the Highlander. Oh, and I've done some heat damage there, but never mind. And it didn't you can still use your Gauss rifle so it doesn't destroy it. I thought at first it might stop it working for a turn or 2, but it doesn't. I just don't know what the point of crits are in this for the weapons. I get what they you can destroy weapons, but the crits are slightly different, so I honestly have no idea what really is going on with the crits in this game. And there goes the left-hand side of the trebuchet.
Enemy mech, critical damage detected.
Commander. Acknowledged.
And take the LRMs off. There we are. We've got 2 rounds remaining to destroy this thing. I think the Highlander has gone into the deployment zone or the drop zone. You see these little marks here. You don't want to end up in those, otherwise your mech gets blown up. But that's fine. We'll take him out on this turn, and we'll use everyone else just to sink some heat. Or we'll use this turn, sorry, to sink some heat. Still done more heat damage there to the catapult, which is annoying. And Oculus, yeah, you can jump back and finish this chapter off, and that will be this objective taken. Very nice. One more to go. And now there's a radiation field between us, but there's also some water, so anyone who needs to cool off can just take a quick dip. The poor catapult, that was my fault completely. I just wasn't paying attention to the rate of heat that he was generating. I was in the radiation field. It's quite rare that you end up in radiation fields in this game, but this particular map is just absolutely full of them. So you can mitigate it though by just taking a quick dip, like so. So we've got the final silo Charlie, and we've got a 40-ton mech registering. Again, we're not going to jump because I think that will trigger the alarm. What I'll do is I'll bring 2 mechs down this little ravine, and I'll keep 2 mechs up on high here. So let's bring you 2 down low. And we'll bring the good old Cousins Durant. Ooh, I've got to be slightly careful here. Actually, I might just put Mina in the pool for another turn. She's very, very hot. Can afford to bring Oculus a little bit forward here. So we'll run these 2 chaps down here. See what else we can see on sensors. We've got a Shadowhawk 2H. It's seen us as well, but that's fine. No problem. Yeah, it's just one of those missions that is just very, very grindy. It's quite unusual in this game as well. You don't really find that very often. Like the game itself can be slightly grindy, just because of the amount of missions you have to do to kind of generate salvage. But missions themselves are usually quite dynamic. I mean, just before I did this episode, I did a tag team mission. They're superb. You basically have an allied lance land beside you, and you have upwards of 3 lances coming against you. They're very, very fun. And they're long, they last sometimes 30-40 minutes, but they're just really, really interesting to do. Oh, that's annoying. I've run him on this weird terrain feature here, so let's just take him down on this bottom path. It looks like there's nowhere for them to escape. Their 2 avenues of escape we've cut off, and the Cicada, which is the quick mech, we've destroyed its leg, so there's nothing really to worry about here at all.
Location confirmed.
And I think we'll do a multi-strike here. Oh, it's a Jenner as well. Jenners are pretty quick, so we're going to have to be slightly careful about him as well.
Taking the shot.
Now, can our LRM spam destroy this annoying SRM carrier? No, is the answer to that. But Boudica should be able to. Yes, okay. She can split fire here. Let's just try this. The SRM won't be able to take this. Cicadas possibly might blow him up. Not quite. But he's going to come a cropper in a second because he's now going to meet Mr. Highlander. Or Mr. Jacob. Named after Jacob Cameron, who is one of the most interesting people in BattleTech, in my opinion. He's a very fascinating chap.
Engaging multiple targets.
And there goes the leg of the Jenner. So good shot there from old Jacob. That's basically it. Any threat that they had of running away has now gone. So yeah, we just have to go through the motions here and take these two out. I think the end of this mission will shine a light on the narrative for us when we go into the mission debrief, because we're actually here for a reason. We are actually invading the planet to take it away from the Directorate, but we're also trying to liberate this planet because a lady, I can't remember what her name was, she has got access to some information that she says can turn the tide of the war in our favour. I think I'm going to do a precision strike here on this Shadow Hawk. Try and take its leg out. That is devastating. Really is devastating. Amazing. Oh, there he goes. Pop. And Metal should get the final word here, I think. Should be the end of this Jenner. Not quite. Still hanging in there. The Jenner D is a really frustrating mech. It's kind of popular with the Cretans, as you'd expect. It's a bit of a sadistic mech. It's got incredibly low levels of armour, but an incredible range of weaponry for a 35 tonner. It's got 4 M lasers and an SRM4. It just runs like hotter than hell. They're basically like walking coffins. They're just going to kill the mech warriors. Good work, Commander. Thanks to you, the Directorate has suffered a major setback and we've gained a valuable new asset. 3 cheers. If you'll excuse us, Lady Rana, we need to get these mechs hosed down and decontaminated. Come on, Commander. Yang's got a great big tub of boron. He's just dying to use it. Dying to use it. Commander, the area has been cleaned. Darius has given me the green light to land immediately. Hold your position.
Mission successful.
Cool. It's not even any salvage really to think of, unless there's some nice double plus or plus weaponry for me, which is pretty doubtful. There might be one. It just looked like a garrison unit, so I don't imagine they were using amazing equipment or anything. 2.5 million Seabills though, so that I really can't complain about. Yeah, that's probably the reason why this mission exists, then, just to give you some cash if you do the easy secondary objectives. Lovely. So I've got a nail sticking into my finger here. It's horrible. Everyone got a kill. That was very nice. We did get some structure damage, but it was completely self-imposed. Although Mina got 4 mech kills there, so yeah, Catapult, absolutely incredible mech. And yeah, and I don't want any of those mechs. Oh, look at that. 20 double, treble plus. That was worth coming for that alone. Nice. SRM. Is there any electronics? No, unfortunately not. We'll definitely take those double SRM 6 pluses. That's great. Actually, that LRM 20 treble plus, that is a very beautiful weapon. Saying that it's listed at 370,000 Seabills, but you probably have to pay quite a bit more for that in store. So that's a great find. Awesome. And now I think we'll go into the mission debriefing. I think my computer's Running a little bit slow because I've been playing this for quite a while now. Revelations. Okay, so we're in orbit here. So Samantha Gallus, that's who we were trying to liberate. So Lady Arano, after almost 2 years of a directorate imprisonment, I had nearly lost hope for myself, for Itrom, for the entire Regan Reach. I owe you my eternal gratitude, all of you. Because of your actions, the directorate's hold on Itrom has been broken and my people have been saved. That's what we're here for, Lady Gallus. Yes, it is, but their continued survival is anything but certain. I'm going to be honest with you, Lady Gallus. I had to wade through a sea of blood to reach Itrom. My army is war-weary and outgunned, and the Reach is on the verge of being overrun, so if you know anything that can help us, I need you to share it with me. Yes, Lady Rano, I can help you. I know where you can find what you'll need to break the Directorate's alliance with the Taurian Concordat. You need to travel to Guldra, Lord Madeira's home system. That's right, if you search the Madeira archives, you'll find what you need. Over the past 3 decades, House Madeira has collected a treasure trove of incriminating evidence on House Espinosa, an insurance policy, so to speak. Find it and deliver it to Protector Calderon, and our Taurian problems will be over. The archives are DNA locked to my family. If we're going to gain access to this insurance policy, I'll need to travel there myself. And hopefully not at the head of an army. You've seen what war has done to Itrom. I pray that Guldra can be spared the same fate. Alexander, A thunderous roar cuts Lady Gallus' sentence short. That's not good. Lady Gallus, Samantha, can you hear me? Holy moly, Lady Arano. Sensors are picking up evidence of a massive fuel air explosion in the capital. Castle Gallus is gone. Yet another mass murder to hold Espinosa accountable for. Vengeance comes later, Oculus. People are dying down there. Alexander, get emergency services to the capital. Medical teams, combat engineers, whatever you can find. We need to search the wreckage for survivors. I'll dispatch our forces right away, Kamea, but then I must return home. I will travel with an appropriate bodyguard, but otherwise I need to go alone. Lady Gallus was right. We've lost too much already. I won't see the army move on Guldra, not if I can do the job myself. Alexander, no, I won't allow it. I can't afford to lose you. Kamea, please, I am duty-bound to see this through. Guldra is a core system, a veritable fortress. If we attempt an invasion, there will be terrible losses on both sides. I won't allow that, not if I can achieve our goal another way, and I am confident that I can accomplish, through subterfuge, what our army could not, the recovery of the evidence we need without unnecessary bloodshed. I am your loyal servant and friend, Kamea. I always have been, but I am also Madeira, and I have a responsibility to protect Guldra from our harm. You, of all people, should understand that. Lord Madeira is his own man, Lady Rano. This should be his decision. Yes, it should. I own that much and more. Very well, old friend. You may go. Now you know how I feel every time you insist on leading a combat mission. Not a good feeling, is it? Go. Get us the leverage we need, and we'll hold the line against the Taurians for as long as we can. I know you will. We can win this, Kamea. We will win this. You're damn right we will. We'll make sure of it. You heard the commander. Back to your stations, everyone. We've got a war to win. Okay, so the next mission, the one on Guldra. Oh no, is it? I don't know if we do Guldra or I think there's another mission on Panzea as well. Can't remember which comes next. Let's just have a look. It's been quite a short episode. Let's have a look at where we are in navigation. Yeah, so we're currently on Itrom. Where is it? So Karamadea, so that's the capital world. We won't be going there next. Tyrolon, I think there's a mission there as well. Guldra. I'm sure there's another mission. I think it is on Panzea. I think it's like the same map that we do the first mission on Panzea. But I think it just swaps them around. So rather than us being at the top of the hill, we're at the bottom of the hill this time. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They're actually, all the missions from here on out are good. That's all I'll say. They're all good. There's a lot going on. We've kind of, that mission that we just did is kind of the last dull one. The 4 that are left, yeah, it's 4. They are really quite fun. My plan is to do one more like stock taking episode, so I'll do that somewhere between here and the end. The topic of that particular stock taking episode will be on how to prepare for the Flashpoint missions, because you really do need to prepare for them. If you go into the Flashpoint missions without any medium mechs, you're going to get into a lot of trouble because there are a lot of tonnage restrictive missions. So you're going to need a lot of mechs under 55 tons. I'll go through that though. I'll bring them out of storage. I'll bring my light and mediums that I want out of storage, and then I'll show like an effective way to kind of do that, because the tonnage restrictions in this game are quite specific. So you need certain mechs that you can run missions with. Anyway, after all that recording today, 3 episodes in a row, I'll leave it here. And now I'm going to go to bed. So hopefully you have enjoyed this, and I'll hopefully catch you all in the next episode.